Good morning, students. Today, let us discuss the topic called as problem solving techniques. Actually, the subject name itself is problem solving using C program. But C program we have to learn, we have to understand. Before understanding, we have to see how to solve a problem. So, what are the techniques to solve a problem? See, if you join any software company, you have to follow certain rules. Okay, the rules will be handled through project manager. So the project manager will decide what is the steps, what is the plan we have to follow. See, in our normal regular system, we have some of the plans. Okay, we'll undergo some of the plans. So that plan can be adapted to the problem solving techniques also. It is a very basic kind of a technique actually. The technique called as SDLC. What do you mean by SDLC? Software development life cycle. So when you develop a software, you need to undergo some cycle. So an entire process of software development is what? A life cycle kind of thing. Okay, so this SDLC is also called as waterfall model. It is also called as what? Waterfall model. Why the name waterfall model has been adapted to this system means you just observe the steps are just going just like a waterfall from upside level to means uppermost level to the downwardmost level. So we have so many steps. I had already discussed these are all the steps in my previous videos. Again, I am just trying to explain the things because the diagram which I have written here is a new diagram which means it is being defined for it. Okay, so when we have this model, the first step, I'll just tell you in a general. See, if you want to go for further studies after you have completed PUC, you want to go to further studies. So you don't know what to do, what to study. So what will be the procedure you will be following? The first procedure is you need to decide which course to join, which education to gain. So that is the problem actually. So you will try to define the problem. If I do BE or else if I do some other like BCom, BBA for commerce students, so these are all the advantages. If I go for BSc, these are all the advantages. If I go to BCA, so I have so many advantages. So by having these problems with you means defining the problems, you will come up with a small solution. That solution you need to analyze. Second step is what? Analysis. So first step I have written here. If this applies for software also, what the example which I am giving you, that applies for software also. What is the first step of problem solving technique? The first step is problem definition. Okay, so here the problem is defined. What the problem actually is. So we are trying to analyze. We are trying to understand actually. Okay, if we understand what the problem is, the second step will be what? Problem analysis. So we may find a small solution. With that solution, we will analyze what are the other possibilities, what are the drawbacks, what are the advantages. Many such things will be analyzed in our second phase. Okay, in software also, after problem is defined, we will be having the analysis. Then, after analyzing the things, after analyzing the software problem, we will go for a design. Okay, so design phase we have two things. The first thing is called as algorithm. So the first and foremost design technique in software development is what? Algorithm. Second will be what? Flowchart. Algorithm and flowchart. So when we have these two techniques, so the problem can be defined and it can be designed as well. So I was telling you the further studies thing. So we have defined the problem. You got a small solution so that you have some future in BCA. You have joined the BCA. Now after joining, before the joining of our BCA, any course actually. So you are going to design. In mind, you will be planning. So after 5 years, I will be like this. After completing degree, I will go to MC. After completing degree, I will go to job. Like that, in mind itself, we need to plan the things. So we cannot design our life in a flowchart and algorithm, but software can be designed in what way? Algorithm and flowchart. Got it? So when we have these two techniques, so after designing, we will be going for what? Coding. What is the actual coding? See, coding will be done through C program, C++, Java. Many we have plenty of languages which will be used for what? Coding purpose. So coding will be done after designing. So by seeing the design technique, we will be going for a coding. Then after coding, we need to test whether the code is working properly or not. See, while development, in the process of development, we will be checking the errors. So that is not a problem. But there will be minute errors which has to be tested by a professional testing team. So you can have a look over our courses. So we have development course and we have a testing course as well. Okay, the team is called as software testing team. So testers will do what? Will test the code whether the code is working in a perfect flow or not. So if any problem comes, again they will go to the previous level. If they go to the previous level, again the software will be coded according to the specific needs. Okay, when the coding is done, again it will go to testing. That is why it is just like a cycle, these two phases. Okay, then after testing, if everything is working well, then it will be posted to the server. So once the server is getting posted, the software has to be maintained well. So for this, let me take one example called as WhatsApp. Okay, you are all familiar with the WhatsApp as a software. So the persons, just like a student's project they have designed, okay, just have to have a chit chat with the friends, to communicate with the friends. So they just came up with a technique called as WhatsApp at the earlier stages. So when this messenger came into existence, they have got the problem, they got the solution, they got the design, they got the coding, everything it is been done. So they get tested, it worked fine. Later on, they adapted to the server so that anybody can use the software. Now also we can go to Play Store, we can download the WhatsApp because it is in a server, it is installed in a server. Okay, after installing, did they kept the software as it is? No. Day by day they kept on doing the updations. So when we have the updates, what is that updates called as? Maintenance phase. I think it is not clearly visible. So this phase is called as maintenance. Let me tell you the steps of a problem solving techniques again. Problem definition, problem analysis, design, coding, testing and maintenance. So these are all the 6 steps we have to follow while developing the software. Actually this phase is now very basic level. So upon this there are multiple models they have designed, like prototyping design, we have multi-waterfall level, and we have Shenzhen level. Many things are there. If you learn a subject called as software engineering, so you will learn all the techniques with the new advanced techniques also, advanced modern tools which will be there to develop a software. Okay, so these are all the things which we have to understand before learning any programming language. So in this semester we will be learning a programming language known as C program. Next we have designing techniques. So I already told you there are 2 designing techniques, algorithm and flowchart. So first let us know what is algorithm. What is the definition, what is the procedure behind the algorithm? See, algorithm, actually it is not an English word, it is a Latin word. Algo means some procedure, okay, some process. Rhythm means, you know, the rhythm in a perfect flow the system will flow. When we have a music, we say rhythm. What is that rhythm? Rhythm will be like a background so that it supports the foreground. Okay, so rhythm means the continuous flow. Algo means process. So this algorithm is defined in English, whereas in a computer science technique to be as it is a step-by-step procedure. Each and every algorithm will be defined in what? Step-by-step procedure to solve a given problem. Whatever the problem which is given, which has to be solved in what? Step-by-step procedure itself. In what way? Actually, finite number of steps. So each and every particular algorithm need to be solved in a step by step. Means steps should not go in an infinite thing. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಸೊ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಯಾವ ತರ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಫ್ಲೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆನಾ, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಬೈ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಆದ್ರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಅಲ್ಗಾರಿದಮ್ಗೂ ಒಂದು ಮಿತಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು ಅಮಿತಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆನಾ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಅ infinite thing. So everything will be having a finite number of steps. Okay, so this is a definition of an algorithm. Please note down this definition. Okay, in our class notes you need to maintain definitions of all the things, whatever the things I am telling you. After coming to class, I will be verifying the notes also. Okay, next, for this algorithm, let me give an example. It is just an example which I am giving you. You know, area of a circle. Area of a circle is defined with the formula. What is the formula? Pi r square. Okay, pi r square in mathematics and geometry you might have made a definition and with the formula. They have solved the things also. But here in algorithm we have some steps. I cannot just take down this equation. I cannot equate the values. Okay, there is some steps. What is that? Step 1 always it is going forward start, which means step 1 denotes we are going to start an algorithm of some problem. Okay, step 2 we have input. To solve this problem, how many inputs we need? We just observe we need an input of pi, we need an input of r, 2 times r, so which can be defined in one time. Okay, because radius value will never change in a circle, it will be quite constant throughout the circle when it is drawn. Okay, how many values we are taking? Pi and r. Here I cannot take a symbol because I don't have that option in my keyboard. The value will not be replaced. So I am taking a word. What is the word here? Pi. Pi stands for pi itself. So pi value as you know 3.14, but we need to adapt it to the system. Okay, when we design the algorithm, we have to place the values. It is a user's responsibility. So 3.14 value is being initialized to pi. Again I have a radius of how many? 5 centimeters. Just for an example I am taking here. And step 3, you need to write this equation. Okay, you need to write this formula to process the area of a circle. So area is equals to pi, this pi into, we don't use a symbol into like this. In computer we will be using what? Asterisk. Asterisk means star. Okay, asterisk symbol to write the equation. Pi r square. And r square also I cannot write just like what is that? Super notation. I need to mention it. I mention it as what? Pi into r into r. This is the only way we have to mention an equation in all the computer. Okay, whatever the equation, whatever the formula you get, you need to elaborate it. Okay, pi r square. But while writing we say pi r square. And we will get some value here. You need to calculate this. Okay, while listening to the class, please solve the equation also. 3.14 into 5 into 5, 5 into 5 25, and 25 into 3.14, whatever the value you get, that will be substituted to what? Area. That area we are going to do what? Actually output. So whenever we have some input, we will be having some outputs also. What we are going to provide as output here? Area. So at last what we will be having? Stop. So this is a best example to solve an area of a circle. And while writing these notes, please write, I have one assignment also for you. Write the area of circumference of a circle. I have written area of a circle. Just beside this algorithm, you just write circumference of a circle. Okay, and please send a note, pic of it. Okay, now take a picture and send me the algorithm also in a WhatsApp group or in a personal chat, so that I can verify whoever is solving it. Okay, I'll make down all your names also. After coming to class, I can have a communication with you. So this is called as algorithm. Let me repeat it. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve a given problem in how many number of steps? Finite number of steps. And next we have the topic called as flowchart. After algorithm, we need to learn what is flowchart. Flowchart is a very simple concept. Better than algorithm. We say the flowchart topic is much more effective than algorithm, because flowchart is defined as, it is a pictorial representation, means picture will be there. It is a pictorial representation of what? Algorithm. See, when you have a look at the picture, better than reading. Okay, when you have a text and we have a picture, which will feel comfortable for you. So for everyone picture will be grasped in a faster manner. So it can be understandable in a very comfortable manner for the human beings. So flowchart is what? Pictorial representation of an algorithm. Each and every steps. Okay. So we have step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4 and n number of steps. Each and every steps will be denoted with some notation, with some geometrical shapes. Okay. So what are those notations actually? The notations are, these are all the things. So totally we have, here I have written 7 of the notations, but we have plenty of notations. So that we'll discuss whenever time permits us, because up to our syllabus level, if we study this much, it will be much more sufficient for us. Okay. So first we have a oval shape. So this oval shape is defined with what? Start or stop. Okay, we can define it with start or stop. So step 1 always will be what? Step 1 will always be start or any other things. Okay, so stop will be at last actually. If you want, you can start the flowchart with start with oval shape. Otherwise, you can start directly with the input or output. Okay, so next we have a parallelogram. It is called as input or output. We use parallelogram, okay, in a slant shape. So it is called as input or output. We can use it for input, providing input and getting the output. And we have this rectangle. So little bit the diagram is written in some other shapes. Okay, the picture it is not so clear. So you need to mention it very clearly. Rectangle will have all the 4 sides. Means the opposite sides will be perfectly equal. Next we have this rectangle for the process, and we have this rhombus or a diamond shape for what? Condition. Applying the condition. Process means what here? Finding the area. Just now we have seen area pi r square, circumference we have seen. Okay, so those things you need to mention with process. And condition, we have some if else kind of thing. So for that you need to apply a rhombus. Again you have a loop like while loop, do while loop, those things. So for that you can apply a particular kind of thing. So it is actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is a hexagonal shape. Okay, it is being elongated hexagonal shape. It is used for what? Loopings. Again we have a preprocessor with the slanted lines here. Okay, perpendicular lines over there. So it is called as preprocess, and we will be using the directions also. If I want to go towards a downward movement, I need to use downward arrow. If I want to go sideward movement, I need to use left and right arrows. If I want to go to the upper level, so I need to use the upper arrow mark. Okay, so these are all the notations which are used in flowchart. Just for your example purpose, I am just taking the same example, area of a circle, which is designed in flowchart. So what is the step number 1? You need to refer the algorithm of algorithm. This one steps of an algorithm, so that you will understand how the flowchart will be designed. So step 1 is start. So for start, what symbol we must use? Oval. So I am using what? Oval shape. Again I am using a input. What are the input things? Pi and r are the input. So I need to mention here input. Then it is being written in parallelogram. Again a equals pi r square. It is written in rectangle. Again we are getting the output. Again parallelogram. Okay, we will be getting the output as what? A. You can mention area, a, whatever the conventions you wanted, if you are comfortable. At last I am using a stop. So these are all the things. I have just given this example as area of a circle. Again you have a work here. What is the work? You need to write the flowchart for the circumference of a circle. You need to write algorithm of circumference of a circle and flowchart of circumference of a circle. And please take a picture and send me in a WhatsApp link. Thank you.